Welcome to the BobKast here at the Kokomo Post Sports. I'm your host, Jay Stevens. And the BobKats had a couple of away games last week, but they're back home in downtown Kokomo this week. We'll definitely touch on the games last week and what's coming up this week on today's show. To my right, my immediate right, it is the head coach of the BobKats, Chandler Levinston-Simon. At one point recently, you saw him with his hair out, but now he has it a little bit contained. Chandler, you might want to have your hair out to win Best Dressed Coach of the Week for the TBL. That might work for you.
I don't know. We'll see. I got to adjust and figure it out, like everything else. I'm going to win. I'm going to get it one time.
Getting to him with your star player. It was good.
And to his right, he's already talking. It is a member of the TBL for a few years now, back with the BobKats after a couple years away. It is Trey Mitchell. Now, Trey, after the All-Star break, I saw Trey Barber cut his hair off. Are we going to see you with a fresh cut, no hair, the next time the BobKats are on the court?
No, sir. I'm going to keep mine. I like the puffs, I like the curls.
The girls like the curls, too.
Yeah, they do. But, I got one. So I keep that, keep that where it needs to be.
Smart man.
Hold on, you trying to get me in trouble?
I swear,
My spot over here.
early, first off.
First question.
But no, yeah, definitely no intentions on cutting it.
Hey, I understand that. I used to have an afro myself back. This is middle school, beginning of high school. You couldn't get me to cut it for nothing. And all of a sudden, I was like, I'm tired of these braids. And I just cut the whole thing off. Afros, decent size, just cut it all off.
See, I feel like once you cut it, that's when you probably start going to getting that U shape, that receding. And it's already genetics. It's in my bloodline. So I want to prolong that as long as possible.
But if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Just let it.
And I'm going to take my time and let it happen. Take my time.
The U shape.
That's what it ends up looking like. Some people have that. LeBron,
Oh my gosh.
We got others that have reckless hairlines.
Dude, LeBron's hairline, if it wasn't for his barber that gets a lot of money for being his barber, we would be seeing a different LeBron maybe out here bald on the court.
What was it, 14? That was honestly the sports comeback of the season. He should have won that to ask his doctors. That hairline should have some award for that.
It pays to know people. Pays to know people.
Hey, Trey, let's stick with you here to keep this conversation rolling. You are a player that was with the BobKats at one point, had a couple years away from the BobKats, I believe. Now you're back here full-time this season so far. To this point, had no trades, nothing. Yeah,
Yes,
so far.
Yes, sir.
How does it feel to be back on the BobKats right now?
It's a full circle moment for me, to be honest. Been in the league 4 years, had the opportunity to be the first round draft pick here for this team when Cliff was head coach. And I get to, have his good old, son coach me too. But it's a sweet moment because it shows the development of the league as well. It shows that even if you don't have everything lined up for you in 1 year, you can still progress and keep flowing and make it to where you're consistent, your career stays. There are no gaps. There might be a little small gap, but if you put in the work, I feel like that's the most important part of it. Like, if you stay consistent with putting in the work, there's going to be a team that actually wants you and finds use for you. Some teams might use you a little bit better than others, but it's just, that's the part of being a professional, learning where you're best fit and what you do best for sure.
Chandler, I saw he's from Chicago Heights, so it makes me think you guys had a background before he even got to the TBL. Because I know you had connection with players before, like 10, 15 years ago. Is that the same way with Trey, that you guys known each other for a long time?
Chicago? Never seen him in my neck of the woods. Never.
Yeah, so.
Nah, so me and Trey actually met at the draft.
Okay.
Yeah. So we met at the draft and then ended up where he got drafted by my dad and we just got cool, and then I came back to practice, and we were always cool from then, and then we ended up being teammates in Lebanon together.
Yeah, summer camp.
Summer league.
Vegas summer league.
Vegas summer league too.
Vegas summer league was lit.
Yeah. There's been a good amount of crossover, but before the first 4 or 5 years,
a lot of my prior years I was in North Carolina.
Okay.
And before the draft, I was working in the liquor industry.
Okay.
So I was responsible for like 40 accounts working for Martinetti companies. Yeah, I had a business. Like, I was literally setting a career before I took the leap of faith to get back into it, because I was out of college for 2 years before I even got back into playing. and taking it serious. And I was in Boston working with my brother out there and threw day parties on Sundays, and we partied and worked in the liquor industry throughout COVID. Maxed up and everything still. Liquor stores still bought their liquor, surprisingly, but yeah. That's
You
what
was
it
out here with the people just partying every weekend.
Not every weekend.
Not every weekend.
Once COVID hit, you had to, slow it down. They put a lot of restrictions on things.
Yeah.
But as far as the liquor industry around that time, in Boston, it was definitely flourishing.
Oh, dude, I saw me, Matt. You say Boston?
Yes, sir.
I know it was probably going crazy because Boston sports, they always win. There's somebody in everything, either NHL, NBA, always winning. So I know it was probably a good boost for you in the business when those teams are playing well.
Yeah, it was around the time when the Patriots were winning. So, it was definitely a fun experience. Definitely something I could put on my resume, and I definitely did. But, it's definitely a good thing that I took that leap of faith because now I'm still getting paid to do what I love to do and still in the workforce working at Foot Locker. So we get the best of both worlds, got the balance.
What was that process like to go from working a job, basically a regular job, non-athletic, to getting back to playing basketball like you are right now?
I feel like it's you have to have the mental capacity and discipline to stay true to what like if you're not running or you're not working out, take that time and focus on those, stay consistent with those, and push through any adversity. I feel like the hardest part for me was probably finding the family balance of the two because, it's like you have to make sure that when you're the man of the household, you got to make sure everything still, you can't lose up on bills, slip up on bills or anything like that. So you still got to make sure you take care and provide and also, make sure that yourself mentally is okay. So it's definitely a grind, but I feel like it's definitely one of the best decisions that you can make if you're going to make it for yourself. Be consistent in it and do it. Take that full leap of faith and bet on yourself 100% of the time.
Chandler, you think the same way as far as the mindset of being a professional?
Yeah, I did the same thing. Because I graduated in 2018, and then I ended up getting drafted in 2019, 2020. Yeah, so we graduated the same year, and we ended up both getting drafted in 2020. Technically I got drafted in 2019, but at the same time too, I didn't stick because I wasn't ready. So it is what it is. But it's definitely one of those things that you have to figure out a way to time management. Like I was getting up at 5 a.m. to go work out, and then once I was done with that, I go to work right away, and then I'm working from 8 a.m. to 3-4, and then I'm coaching high school basketball in the gym, trying to get shots up against the other players after that, and then some days I'm basically up from 5 to 9 p.m.
That's tough. That is tough. Chandler, this past week, the Bobcats played a couple games. They beat the grind of West Virginia 103-97. Then there was a loss to Madura 112-102. Both of those games were on the road, I believe.
Yes.
What went down in the first game to win over West Virginia?
We just weren't shooting the ball that well to start, which happens from time to time, when you're a shooting team. You're going to have games where you just don't make shots to start. But, defense kicked in and different things like that. And we also were a couple guys down because Larry and Fudge both didn't play.
Ooh.
Durrell was, battling an ankle injury. I want to say Akeem's been fighting some things. We were kind of a little shorthanded,
yeah,
for sure. So we definitely had to fight through a lot of that and adversity, and we just kind of weathered the storm.
Trey, what was it like as Chandler talking about players that weren't able to play, and a lot of these names are people in the community in Kokomo know because they've not only been here for a while, they're big pieces of the team, the success the Bobcats have had this year. What was it like, even though you got to win, playing without some key pieces of the Bobcats?
I feel like that's just a testament to what we have as a unit right now. I feel like at any night there could be a point where any player can go off for 20, 30 points. It's just, building and meshing together is probably the most important part, and building that trust. I feel like we have a good camaraderie on it. Coach spoke on it earlier today before practice that we were down a couple players, but even when we were down in the Medora game and down in West Virginia, we came together, brought each other together, rallied, and that's what winning teams do. They don't, bicker and start pointing fingers. They get to the root of the problem, fix that problem as a unit, and then we get back out and start winning the games. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing this week. And that's what I feel like is on everybody's mind right now moving forward. Getting back on those winning side and trying to take care of business the rest of the season because playoffs is right around the corner.
Man, it's going to be here so quick,
Yes,
so soon. What's it like playing in the TBL play? I'm assuming the teams you've been on previously. I know you've been on the Bobcats. I don't know the history of the TBL playoffs and stuff like that. Have you been on a team that's played in the playoffs, Trey?
Yes, sir. So my first year with the Bobcats, we went to the playoffs. The second year when I played with Lebanon, Bobcats put us out the playoffs.
Okay.
So, definitely been there, and I understand what it takes. But for us as a unit, I'm confident with our guys, and I'm putting my team against anybody in the league right now because I know that we have the pieces to do what we need to do.
Yeah.
You've been saying it for a while. I don't know if it was last week with Orlando or another time. The team has 12 guys that can go.
Yeah.
Every single week, every single night has 12 guys that can go. And I think that goes to the game in West Virginia. And we haven't got to Medora yet to figure out who played, who didn't play. But when key guys aren't able to go, the team has enough players and the right guys that can step up and make the right plays at the right time.
Yeah, we definitely do. It just more so makes things difficult on me when guys are out. In terms of finding the right combinations of, this person did this really well, so I got to find somebody that can at least supplement that, and then maybe something else, another skill that somebody else has. But you got to it's like a puzzle. And then I also know for the guys, it's a difficult task too, because if he's used to Larry doing something specifically, or this is what Larry does, and for 20, 30 minutes that he's with Larry, then he's got somebody else. It's a slight difference in just the way guys play.
I think it was a day or two in between the West Virginia game and the Medora game. This one was on the road, the same place where the TBL All-Star game was hosted this year. 112-102 loss. I saw the team was down 17 at halftime, only down 3 at the end of the third quarter. Mm-hmm. And you talked about how guys stepping up and rallying together, not only in the West Virginia game, but also in the Medora game. Trey, what went down during that game to get the team only being down 3 heading into the final quarter of that game?
I felt like we were locking in on the principles that we go over in practice. We had a stint where we were constantly forcing turnovers, forcing them to take contested bad shots, which led to us to get leak outs or even once we got the ball, getting into our offense. We could have rebounded better. There are still things that we needed to clean up on our end because we clearly didn't take care of business the way we wanted to. But any time that we're close enough to steal it, and any time you're close enough to steal on the road, that's a good opportunity, a good chance. We just fell short of it that time. So, we took care of business in West Virginia. We just fell short on Medora, but we're well prepared and ready for next week. So, or for the week to come. So, my mind is I'm not dwelling on the past. I'm ready for these next 2 games coming up because those are the most important.
You sound confident, and I like that. I like not just a basketball player or basketball coach, but anybody in any area, any occupation. They're very, very confident in things that they do. And you're not the first Bobcat player to come in here and talk about how confident they feel, not only in themselves as a player, but in the team as a whole and the confidence they have in Chandler to put the team in the right situation. Where does that confidence come from?
The work that we putting in every morning.
Yeah.
For sure. Definitely. Because, we iron sharpen iron, and we go at each other in practice. So we have that confidence because we're going at each other and building each other up and making sure that we're where we need to be when it's time for us to go against other people. So I feel like that's where that confidence is really coming from. And, then we got old Chan over here, he gives us a couple of little motivational quotes every now and then. He like to sprinkle a little stuff in there every now and then. Not too much, but.
Hey, can we hear one? We got time.
Don't put him on the spot.
We got plenty of time.
Don't let him go and look on his phone.
I
gotta go and Google. Let me hit Google. Hey, inspirational quotes.
It's my notes.
Inspirational quotes.
What was it? I'll even read the one I had from what was it? Who was this one? Who we played in this game? I'm trying to think who we played in this game. I don't remember, but I think it was our last home game. All successful teams have 3 characteristics. They play unselfish, they play together, and they play hard. Larry Brown. So.
Okay. I dig that.
Yeah.
The next time the Bobcats are on the court, it will be, I do believe the next game's at home.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, Saturday, back-to-back days.
Yeah.
You have Lebanon, team used to play for, is coming to town. That'll be on Friday evening at 7:05. Got to put the time out there.
Yeah.
We talked about that last time.
7:05.
But then on Saturday, once again, tip-off at 7:05 again. Pontiac is coming to town. This weekend, there's going to be a face that people haven't seen that will not be on the Bobcats sideline. There will be a new face on the Bobcats sideline. Recently released was Brandon Wood, who then Max Joseph, who was a practice squad player, got elevated. Mm-hmm. What does Max add to the team?
He definitely adds defense. He's defensive minded, and also he controls the pace of the game. That's one thing that he definitely does, and he puts the ball in the right spots, and he's looking to get guys going. He's more of a traditional point guard in that sense. Defense and then controlling the pace. Don't get me wrong, he can still also score the ball too, but he definitely adds that to the game.
Trey, you looking forward to playing with Max?
Definitely.
Yeah.
If you're putting in the work with us every day in practice, I feel like, you deserve to at least get an opportunity, because I remember what it was like being on that situation, because my second year here, I was cut. I made it all the way through the final training camp, and then the last day I was cut, but kept practicing for a little while. Cliff brought me back and asked me to come practice, so I stayed in shape. And that led with me just by doing that, because some people could take it as, oh, nah, y'all cut me. I don't want that. We have players that still believe in, okay, just putting in the work. There are players that are going to be on Lebanon that were with us, practicing with us, that will actually have a contract now. So I feel like that just goes to show you, if you stay true to working, you can get your opportunity to shine. So that's all I see from that. And I am eager to play with everybody, for sure.
I want to stick with you here really quickly, because I went back through the bio or the little questionnaire the team filled out at the beginning of the season, and your biggest accomplishment, you said, was having your son.
Yes, sir. I'm
going to have my first child in July, who will be a boy. Thank you. I really haven't talked about that much on the show.
Congrats.
But the closer we get, I am really, 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 really nervous. What was that moment like in that hospital? I talked to one of my buddies that wasn't able to be there for the birth of one of their kids, so I'm assuming you were there, but maybe you weren't. So you were there. What was that moment like when you saw your son for the first time?
So it was a bittersweet moment, kind of scary, because first child, I was 20, wasn't even finished with college yet, to make it even full circle. When I did my senior night of college, my son and my mother were on walking with me on the court from the senior night. Man. So that was a dope experience that I'll never forget. But going back to the birth, we had to go to the hospital. She was induced. She was suffering from preeclampsia, so she had to have an emergency C-section. So I went from waiting for dilation and waiting for the baby to come to, okay, this is a serious situation. So everything went well, and I was actually able to hold him first. So it was I had to, because they were still finishing with her before, so I got the first moment of holding him. And that was probably when I felt like the world stopped. And I was like, okay, so this is what you got to do. This is what you're here for. So, and I felt like since that moment, it was lock in, focus, go, go, go. I don't feel like there's ever been a lax moment since he's been born. Ever since then, it's been, you got to make sure he has something for when you're gone. And that's how I wake up every day, for sure.
Chandler, you have a daughter.
Yeah.
What was it like for you when you saw her?
Kobe.
I'm not gonna lie, having a daughter, you got a different set of Not even that's a different thought process all completely.
I have 3 stepchildren at home, 2 girls and a boy. So I know the girl. That's
what everybody tells me.
It's a different mindset to some degree.
Yeah, it changes you.
Definitely does.
For the better though.
Yeah,
because it's more of a patience thing.
Yeah. So I actually be born, she was born in June herself, so late June. So I actually was not there for the birth, but I was at my brother's wedding.
Okay.
So I get the call, like I'm headed back. I'm like at the airport, like, hey, yeah, she's going into labor, and then I was like, okay, well, like the flight's in the next 45 minutes. I can't really speed that up.
Rush. I can't speed it.
Right.
I'm on my way.
We'll see if I make it back in time or if I don't or all that. But luckily, I got to see her, soon after I landed and or soon after I got back, and it's definitely a different experience, like, because you're just, like you said, you're just everything you're doing now at that point. A lot of things you start considering your kid. A lot of decisions you think about how it's going to affect them and different things like that. It's different too because my daughter's in Delaware, so
and my son is in Michigan, so it's like always having to make sure you accommodate and go and travel. It's definitely it's a battle, but hey, it's worth it though.
Exactly.
That's a battle worth battling any day.
Yeah.
To any parent, I always say that. And yeah, if you gotta push or if you gotta go the distance to go and be there for them, that's a battle worth it.
Exactly. Sure. Like during COVID, we because you couldn't go on flights, so we had to drive out for her birthday.
Ooh.
So yeah, it was
so like 12, 14 hours?
13 some change. Yeah. From Chicago, it was 13 some change. My mom came, everybody, like it was a lot of people. It was it's great. I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad I am able to make it there, consistently. The one thing I did miss one of her birthdays though. We were in the playoffs.
Okay.
It was like we had a game. I was hoping that Atlantic City had won, but unfortunately Albany did. So we had to go up there because Atlantic City is a little hour and a half drive. Yeah. I could have maneuvered that one, but it is what it is. I got to see her shortly after too. So, but it's definitely it's life changing and it's a great experience. Like there's not much I would change, in terms of that.
Do either of you guys want more kids of your own?
In the future.
Yeah.
Understanding and having a kid young and understanding now that my son's 8, finna be 9 this year, I'm like, okay, financially feasible. It needs to be financially feasible.
Correct.
For me to have another child. And I'm definitely open to it. But if I hit the lotto, or come up across a couple million, if I go to the league,
if you get some, share.
Chance, shoot out to the majors. If you get some,
you gotta share it with us though.
Hey, I get it. We all get it. Because I swear, look,
that's
love.
That's the deciding factor on like a lot of that.
For real.
Finances. Kids aren't cheap.
I've heard from numerous people. I've seen my boy. I have a nephew. He's 1.5. I can only imagine how
them V-Bucks and Robux. Oh God. V-Bucks, Robux, and then they know I work at Foot Locker, so it's shoes. Can I get some shoes? Oh God.
You gotta do it.
And it gets done, but boy, do my pockets hurt. They look at me like, why? They definitely do. I'm serious.
So my daughter's in everything.
How old is your daughter?
She's 6. Well, she'll be 6 in June.
Okay.
But she she's gymnastics. She's done soccer, cheerleading. She wants to start basketball soon, but I think we're gonna hold off a little bit. She wants to play. She talked about softball. She talked about volleyball. She basically wants to play everything at some point in time.
That's perfect.
She's probably going to be tall like you, so she's going to be the taller girls, volleyball, basketball. She might be dunking.
Her mom's 5'4".
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Dunkin' Donuts.
You just spent too much time with my dad. That is 100%. My dad's thing. He's like, hey, go dunk. Dunkin' Donuts. You do this little Dunkin' Donuts. Put the little bass in the voice.
I swear.
That's some old man stuff.
Yeah.
I swear. That's why. Hey, look, I'm old soul.
Trey, so I got two more things for you here. Well, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself talking about children and all that stuff. This week, Bobcats back on the court Friday, Saturday. What's it like for you to play in front of the Bobcat fans?
I love it. It's an amazing feeling. Because, I mean, I work in Kokomo. And since I moved out here in 2001. 2001?
2001?
No,
21?
20.
I'm about to say.
2021, 2020, around that range. What year was the first one?
2020.
That's 2020. Oh, yeah. So that was the first year, because that was the first year we had training camp.
21?
Is it 21 or
21?
20? Yeah, 21. Okay, so since 2021, I've been a, member of Kokomo community. So, and I've, grown to love the place because they show love to the Bobcats. Mm-hmm. They show love to strangers that are from other places that come into the community with open arms. And every year it's been a different fan or a different, business that has showed love. And I appreciate it for sure. And being at Foot Locker in the mall, I get to see everybody come in and talk to me. So it's definitely a good feeling, a humbling feeling, because, you get to be around all of the people that show you the support. And I love it. I just want everybody to keep coming, keep filling those stands, so because we need all that support every game, especially on those home games, for sure.
What I would love to see happen is for y'all, all the players, go into his closet and make sure he wins Best Dressed Coach of the Week.
I got him on shoes if he, I'm the plug on shoes if he act right, If he act right,
Yeah, we got to order some.
Yeah, because, he's size 14, 15, be not, Yeah, that's a roll bounce.
Yeah. Have you been satisfied with this suit game so far?
I feel like he's been holding it down.
Okay.
I feel like there are certain areas where he could surpass. I feel like he's been moderate.
We'll say
he's been stepping moderately. I feel like he hasn't put on that big stepper yet.
I will say I'm better dressed than the previous coach.
Ooh.
No, I will stay that.
You do realize this is going to be something he can listen to and he can watch.
Which camera? Which one to look at? That one? Dad, I am a better dresser than you right now. In suits. That is a fact.
I sure hope they clip that.
Oh, no. I'll send it to him.
Okay.
I will send it to him. No, because so the only reason why I say that is because he's had some questionable. Yeah, quite 4XL. I'm talking about the LeBron draft suits. He came out. I kid you not. He came like
TJ Ford.
Yeah, like you've seen the Mellow commercial they got. Where he's joking. I was like, yeah, these are gonna be the suits. These are in style. I've seen one or two of those.
He called it. He said the LeBron draft suit, Carmelo. I immediately thought about John Wall in Kentucky with those big shorts on.
The plus side is I'll give him this. You don't have the Steve Harveys with 1,000 buttons.
That's clean though.
Nah, it is, but it's
but if your torso is long, it's
I mean, you can't. I ain't never seen an 8-button suit until Steve Harvey came out with those.
He made a lot of money wearing that too. Made a lot of money.
I'm telling you, them. Hey, look, I want to get to the bracket where I can put that on and feel comfortable. I need to get to that bracket.
I'm okay. Nah, I'm not trying to look like a Detroit player. I'm okay. I'm okay. No hate to Detroit, y'all. I love y'all, but hey, I'm cool. That's just not my style.
Trey, I'm going to ask you a question we talked about last week with Orlando, and Chandler hopped in this last week too. We were talking about the preferred method to recover: sauna, steam room, or cold tub. Chandler said cold tub. Mm-hmm. Orlando said cold tub. Mm-hmm. What's your what of those three? Which one do you prefer?
All right, my question is, what is hurt and how hurt is it?
That's up to you to decide.
Okay. If I'm bruised up real bad, it's got to be ice. You got to ice it first. That's going to help with the swelling. I feel like the steam room and sauna is more so for, like, sweating out. Or if you were trying to, like, if you drank on the weekend, y'all celebrated a win. Okay, I'm going to go to the sauna to try to sweat out some of this and drink water to, hydrate myself. That's probably the only time I'm seeing that being, like, beneficial, or unless people every day go to the sauna.
Fudge goes before games.
Before games, go to the sauna.
I believe so.
Because I've also done hot bath in before games, like the hot jets before.
Yeah.
Be feeling like a new man, ready, loose and limber, ready to go. Yeah.
He goes in there and stretches.
Stretches before. Yeah. Okay, so that's probably the equivalent to that. So I understand that. Hot sauna, if you're gonna stretch in there before the game, that'll work. I do like that idea. I use that one.
You put a thought in his head.
I like that one.
Right.
Because I mean, I missed the hot bath. You know, that used to be a thing.
You got it. Both of them.
What's wrong with it? Because I'm telling you, your legs feel like elastic.
I don't do
Then
heat.
I'm really getting springy.
Nah, I'm not a huge fan of the heat. Man, I don't want to be in the hot tub and things like that. I don't like to be in there. I'm sweating in the hot tub. You're in water. You shouldn't be sweating in water.
Okay. Well, you didn't sweat enough titties. I got jokes today. I'm on one.
Jokes and he has no response.
He usually got some quick flashback or quick snapback. Nothing today.
I'm letting him have it.
Nothing today.
I'm letting him have it.
Nothing today.
Hey, Trey, so I talked to Fudge. I'm going to end the show with this. Talked to Fudge after he was in the TBO dunk contest. And I asked him to put together a group of 3 other Bobcats to be in a dunk contest. Mm-hmm. Your name is in this. Okay. He said he would be in it. B Wood and TJ would be in it.
Dunk contest?
That's what I got. I thought it
was Johnny.
It was Johnny. I put TJ last week.
Yeah.
Because I was like, TJ, I don't really see TJ as a dunker. Not in this.
Yeah. I mean, he had one in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
He had
on
one.
the rim. He
gets
on the rim.
He had one, yeah.
But I'm talking about when you talking about dunk contest.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I know, I'm sure he can. I'd be shocked if he couldn't.
I thought it was Fudge, Trey, Johnny, and I thought it was Larry.
Did I mess this whole thing up?
Possibly.
I probably did.
So what was it? What was the question supposed to be?
Who'd win?
Who'd win?
In the dunk contest?
You, Fudge, Larry, and Johnny.
I think it'll probably be between me and Fudge, honestly, because of the package. You know, who has the better dunks? I mean, Johnny's a high flyer, but his are stretch out, straight slam. I don't think he has too much of spinning or twirling in the air or anything like that. Fudge got that. That's tough.
Yeah.
Pump behind the back, let it sit for a second, and then go into a windmill. That's kind of tough.
He talked about that dunk here, and talked about how he wanted to do it in the dunk contest, but I think another guy did it before him, so he didn't. He didn't
saw it
do
on
it.
Instagram and did it before him. Childish.
Yeah.
That's so petty. So petty. So, I mean, I feel like I'd probably win off of the fact that I can probably catch it and do some crazy, like, contorting in the air, so it'll probably give it an awe effect. But I feel like Fudge probably got me in the bounce department because that is tough.
He was up there during that was probably one of the first times I've seen him really, really jump.
Jump. I know it because that adrenaline in that dunk contest is different. You get to show off, and it's a lot of people there, a lot of cameras. You want that to look good.
Yeah. He low-key
He held it down, though.
Nah, he won.
I know.
In my opinion,
he held it down in my book.
They just said, your dunk looked similar because it was 2 hands. All 3 of them looked two hands.
But they're not. They weren't similar.
They were 3 different dunks.
And I wasn't even there. I just saw. I told you I saw clips on Instagram.
Yeah.
And that, to me, when I saw it, I was like, these are not the same dunk.
No, they wanted. They're like, we thought he was going to do maybe a one-handed or something, like something a little different. Why they got to look 1,000? Like if you break it down and you slow-mo, each one is different and difficult in its own way. Honestly, 2-hand dunks are harder than 1-hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a sense.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
2 hands for safety.
I don't know. I feel like it depends. Okay. I feel like 2 hands is difficult. Like if you're going to move the ball around a lot.
Yeah, because both hands. I mean, no. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to.
It's 2 hands more difficult because you got to jump higher.
Yeah. That.
One hand
you can.
One hand, it's harder because you got to move the ball and everything like that, and you're only catching with 1 hand. But
to answer your question, I probably think it'll probably be me. I'm a bet on myself, like I told you before. Bet on yourself.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm glad
I think
you. I'm
it'll
glad
be
you
me.
said that because I would have been a little
Let down
shaky.
if
I would have been shaky on my confidence in you if you said Fudge would have won that.
I think I would have got him. Because, you know, I got some stuff that is nobody really seen. Of course, everybody's seen the 360 windmill, but I got different variations of tosses off the backboard. My bounce pass off the backboard is ridiculous. I get that every layup line. Every layup line. So, you know, it's easy. You know, I can put a little show on. I'm not jumping over nobody. I'm not doing that. I will jump and dunk on somebody, but I will not jump over nobody.
Dunk on him right here.
He knows that, but he fouls. He's smart. He ain't gonna foul you too hard, but he gonna foul you enough to where you think about it. You second guess it. Do I really that?
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? But if you get up before he really noticed, then you might catch him.
I'm gonna get out the way. No, you're not gonna catch me. I'm gonna get out the way.
Might catch him.
No, I'm gonna do the smoothest rollout.
He'll roll out the pick so quick.
Oh yeah,
I'll give you that. You might, but
Hey,
you get caught. You get caught.
I will be in the picture in the poster, doing one of these and a movement out the way, but you're not gonna get not on me. I'm grabbing an arm and wrist.
I'm
I'm
different.
gonna hold it like this too as you're trying to dunk it.
I'm different. It's gonna be a highlight either way. Either I'm put on a poster or I am going to have a incredible block highlight. I got one last
Yeah,
night.
Beans. He went up against Beans in West Virginia. No, they called it a foul, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
We replayed it in film.
I'm a jump. Call me hard-headed, but I'm a jump. Show me you can jump.
Hey Trey, what's your message for Bobcat fans to get them out to Memorial Gym on Friday and Saturday this weekend?
We need you. We love you. We love your support.
Look into the camera.
Where's the camera? Which one? That one or that one? This one? We need you. We love you. We love the support. We want those stands filled so that way we can put on a show for you. Straight like that.
Chandler, what's your message to Bobcat? We already went over the times. 7:05 tip on both
Yeah, no,
nights.
because we last time we definitely forgot that till the end.
Don't worry, he does that in practice sometimes too.
I definitely do. It's like a 2-second delay. It is what it is.
It happens. We getting old. We got a little more salt and pepper showing. So.
It's definitely in there. But come out and support. Also, too, we got some new gear you guys can buy. We got the new player shirts in. Players haven't even seen them yet. So, you know, that's something you guys definitely will like and enjoy.
That's Trey Mitchell, Bobcats player. Love having him on the show. This right here, Chandler Levinston-Simon, the head coach of the Bobcats. Appreciate him coming back on the show once again. I am your host, Jay Stevens. We'll see you next time.